Thank you very much for joining. Today, I just want to articulate a little bit better what Project 4 is about and to give a little bit more clarity on what we are expecting. So Project 4 is going to be about testing and also introducing you into the world of automation, robotic process automation to be specific. So robotic process automation, if you remember from our last class, refers to any tasks that are being mimicked in a way that a person would execute the task. So if a person is going into a system, typing in their username and password in the browser, and then going to execute some actions, RPA would essentially look at mimicking these steps in exactly the same fashion. Also bringing up the browser, logging in, using the username and password, and then actually being able to execute the items as a user would clicking through the system. There are different types of automation. So you also get business process automation or digital process automation, which inevitably are more or less the same thing. They are often used interchangeably in our environment. But what both of these terms refer to essentially is being able to optimize and enhance processes in the background. So this is now where we start to use APIs. Instead of going into a system and clicking around, we're actually using APIs to get the data that we need. That's pretty much the big difference between the two. So for Project 4, we're going to be using RPA, and we're going to be using the technology referred to as UiPath, which is one of the industry leaders in RPA. And we're going to be using Excel test data that we want to insert into the web app that we've now been working on throughout the semester. So I'll show you what that web app looks like in a moment. What I do just also want to state is that the testing that we're going to be performing is going to mimic user acceptance testing. So essentially, once you've created a solution and you've gone through the system development lifecycle, you've already done your analysis, your design, your development, and now you're getting ready to deploy, you first need to do some testing with your users. So generally what happens is a group of users will come together from the business perspective, the clients essentially of the project or the business stakeholders of the project that you're putting together, and they will test the solution to make sure it meets their requirements. That testing is referred to as user acceptance testing, or UAT. And UAT is a very crucial part of the process before you can go live. It is very often found in most organizations that you will not be able to go into production. You will not be able to deploy into production unless you've either done quality assurance testing or user acceptance testing. So there's two focuses that we have in this project, and that's going to be what we're looking at for the remainder of our journey through UiPath. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to read through the brief. The brief explains what the background context is. It gives you a brief explanation of what we're trying to achieve, and it gives you the prerequisites. So one of the prerequisites is that you'll need to create a UiPath Automation Cloud account, and you'll need to actually use that account to install Studio as a community edition. So if you go into UiPath, the link that I've got in the brief, this is essentially what you'll see once you've now signed in. And then when you click on download over here, you're now downloading the community edition. You can install it, and then you can follow the guides that are available to get it set up correctly. Then what you'll need to do is you actually need to make sure that you can access the web application that you'll be performing all these tasks on. That web application looks like this. So it is also in the brief. It is this CMPG 323 EcoPower Logistics Azure Websites.net. You can go in over here, you can register or log in. If you have an account, you can log in. If you don't, you can create one. So this web app is similar to the one that you created for Project 3. It will store most of the information that you need. Please make sure that you confirm your registration. Make sure you click to confirm your account. Otherwise, you're going to have to try, you would have tried to register. And then when you try to log in, it's going to tell you that you can't, and it's going to be a bit of a catastrophe. So please make sure that you store that registration. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use that account. Make sure that you know which account you're using, because you're going to have to submit this as part of your project, that I know which user you were using to execute these tasks. So you have customers, orders, and products. As you'll see, it's blank for you when you start up. There's some role-based access at the back to make sure that you don't delete one another's information, and that the information that you create is the information that you can see. So now the whole premise of this project is that you're going to take the information that is living in the Excel file, which you'll find on eFundi under resources, project 3 resources. You'll see there's an Excel file. That Excel file looks like this. So you'll have your customers, your order details, your orders, and your products. You essentially have to go add each and every single one of these items into the solution, and then you have to figure out what the flow is going to look like to create, read, updates, and edits each and every single one of these items. So what you would start by doing is taking this information that we have over here. So maybe let's just quickly do this. Create new. Customer title is Mr. Customer name is Stina Moss, and the cell phone number, just copy and paste that over. You'll create that and you'll see, okay, it's created, the created test passed. You cannot change this test result until you've created, edited, seen the details, and deleted. So next you'll go into the edits. You can either change the number to be 00000, or you can make some form of a change. What I would suggest is changing the cell phone number to be a bunch of zeros. Save that, make sure that that test completes, and then hit delete, and you'll see that it's gone. Once you've done that for this whole record, you can mark this as true. By the end of this, you're going to want all of these to be true. You're going to want to have all of these be true, all of these be true, and all of these be true. Please remember that because there is some role-based access, or not really role-based access, well, there is role-based access applied as well, but the row-level security that's applied and the data integrity and referential integrity that is applied means that you will need to create all your customers, all your orders, all your products before you can create order details. Once you've created everything, only then can you delete it. I wouldn't suggest creating and deleting as you go along, but that's for you to figure out. If you can find a way around that, then that's what you can do. But that is essentially what we're expecting you to do for project 3. Just want to go down further in the brief. All of these requirements are listed. Once again, we'll be looking at the GitHub administration. We'll be looking at the project setup. We'll be looking at making sure that you actually read all the input data in. So you're going to be submitting your UiPath script in your GitHub repository. So the script that you're creating, or the process that you're creating in UiPath Studio, we will be looking at that. Then your UI automation we'll be looking at. Your recorded results will also be pulled through. So what I am going to be looking at, what I have done in this web application, is I've actually built an audit log in. So every single interaction that you have with this website has been logged in the backend, and that information is going to be what I use to mark as well. So I'll be able to see if you've created, edited, deleted, and updated. If you haven't created, edited, updated, and deleted everything, and I don't see that in the audit log, you're going to get penalized. So please note that I will be able to see what your bot is doing in the background based on the web app that you're using. Then once again, we're just looking at the deployment. We're looking at the project documentation. We've provided some reading materials. Please make sure that you join the UiPath community forum. It's a really great place to get involved. If you have questions, ask the questions on the forum. People are very, I want to say, stringent about answering on the forum. Please also go in and see if there's other people who have issues that you have and you found a solution. Go in and actually give them the answers that you found. Then there are some certification paths. There's some training that you can do. And then once again, just make sure that you submit correctly, please. Your due date is the 19th of October. You do need to do referencing using the Harvard referencing style. And then just keep in mind what the warning is and what the marking considerations are. As always, if you have any issues or questions, please shout. Thank you.